Welcome to the Director's Cut podcast, a part of StoryTown Radio Show. In this podcast, we will feature stories that didn't make the final cut for the live radio show, but they are excellent stories and need to be shared. This story was submitted for the October 2024 Legs in a Barrel Murder Mystery Radio Show. The murder mystery, based on true dealings, took up most of the show, but we loved this piece about Hank Williams' ghost, written by Laurie Herlich. Here is Phantom of the Opry, as performed by Paul Harris.
Howdy, folks. My name is Hank Williams, or at least it used to be. You know, back when I was alive. That old seafaring man, Captain Ryman, wanted this eponymous building to be a church after he got saved, but the gal who bought the building after his passing sidestepped him. Worship does occur here, but not of the one true king. It is for the kings and queens of country music. I performed here and received the adoration of multitudes. So did Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley, and Dolly Parton. I also received in my person the effects of Captain Ryman's curse. He approved neither of using the facility for entertainment nor of my lifestyle. Mixing alcohol and medication intended for prescriptions kind of goes against the recommendation of someone who's found religion like the captain did. That jinx did me in. Ironic that my last song released was I'll Never Get Out of This World Alive. I sure didn't. I couldn't bear to leave the Ryman Auditorium, so I returned to spend my eternity there. When I thought I was alone, I would break into song. Midnight in Memphis was one of my favorites to belt out. Once or twice, folks who lingered after hours would overhear my vocalizations, then burst, frightened, from the auditorium. I remained there happily until 1974. The sanctuary closed, and our ceremonies relocated to the Opryland. What would happen to me, I wondered? Would I be condemned to entombment alone in an abandoned structure? I could sing my heart out, but I longed for an audience and acclamation once more. My salvation came as a surprise. An 8-foot square section was sawn from the old stage and then lovingly carved into a 6-foot diameter circle. It was salvaged, refinished, and brought to the new Opryland stage to imbue the tradition of the old into the new. I hitched a ride. The new owners wanted more audience members and more performances, yielding more profits. This meant fewer times when the facility was empty. I formulated a new strategy for when I might sing without betraying my existence to the outside world. When the next group of musicians took the stage, I slipped in behind them. If it seemed our voices would meld well, I sang with the main singer. Otherwise, I sang backup. My skills upgraded. The techniques of each singer were studied. Over the years, even my tone improved. Vocalists noticed their songs sounded better at the Opryland than anywhere else, in ways that they could hardly explain. I felt more substantial than I had in years. Was it an illusion? Or could I actually feel my heart beat faster when we tread the boards? Word spread, and this venue grew in popularity among performers. I had more time on stage now than I was dead than when I was alive. One thing was lacking. I missed the spotlight, the acclaim, the adrenaline rush when the applause was all mine. One year, as Christmas approached, the technicians worked hard on special effects to enhance the celebratory nature of the seasonal performances. I was amused by their attempts to rain metallic confetti from the catwalk above the stage and add extra spotlights with colored filters. In rehearsal, the confetti got in the eyes of the performers, and the swinging of the colored lights made one backup singer faint. I relaxed in the cushioned seats as they experimented with different colors of cold smoke from dry ice. I reckon the lead singer even choked from the misty fumes. I chuckled silently, thinking that if the music was truly excellent, the fancy stuff was unnecessary. Christmas Eve arrived, clear and cold. Attendees stomped snow from their boots as they doffed their caps, unwound their scarves, and located their seats. The well-known male vocalist assumed his position center stage to wild applause. I slipped in behind him, but in front of the drummer. The trio of female backup singers, attired as Santa's elves in costumes that left little to the imagination, took their places on his right-hand side. Guitarists entered from the left, strumming their instruments. Singing began, and I joined in. Red and white smoke was piped in from opposite sides of the stage. I sang out with joy, feeling more solid than ever, and I noticed too late that the lead singer had turned away to cough. The audience gasped. I continued singing and looked around to see what might be provoking their reaction. Everyone looked in my direction. Oh, if I'd have had a body, my respiration would have increased dramatically. Yes, I might have even gasped. I looked down at myself and saw that the red and white smoke curled around me like a misty candy cane, silhouetting my form and making me visible. The surprise was great enough that it made me stop singing. The audience got to their feet one by one. They clapped in unison and shouted, "Phantom! Phantom! Phantom!" I reckon they saw me. They wanted me. I stepped forward, wreathed in colored mists, and took a deep bow. What a gift. Merry Christmas to me.
Thank you for tuning in for the Director's Cut podcast, a part of the StoryTown Radio Show. Check in next month for more stories. StoryTown is supported by the Tennessee Arts Commission, Trivia with Buds, the Silver Raven, Gary and Sandy Degner, Mountain Empire Cremation and Burial Services, and of course, the Wild Women of Jonesboro.